Welcome to Kapeleris Ultimate Talk TV. Be inspired, informed, and elevate your mind one step at a time. Talking about life, real estate, business, and beyond. Your host, author, speaker, real estate broker, Carmela Kapeleris.
Welcome back. Next, I would like to introduce 4 passionate ladies that resonate very closely to me and my real estate group, Women Empowering Women. And they are here to tell us about mothers on real estate and share us their real life stories. Here is Rachel Oliver, Jillian Irvin, Shannon Murray, and Monica Jasic. Welcome. Rachel, can you tell us your story and your background and about Clover Properties?
So about 9 years ago, about 6 weeks after having my first baby, I was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. And at that point, everything in my world turned upside down and I reassessed what I was doing. So I realized that the job that I had was great. It was, 6-figure income, wonderful for providing comfort, but it didn't give me the time freedom that I needed, because after you get a diagnosis like that, time is really the only thing you've got. So I decided that my husband and I are going to switch gears and pursue real estate, because that's where I felt we could create the most wealth with the type of skills and knowledge and education we had at that time. So we decided that beyond just pursuing real estate, we didn't want to be landlords, we wanted to be investors. So we focused on a very specific strategy called rent to own, which helps home buyers who can't get a mortgage today get into home ownership using the rent to own strategy. And through that strategy, we've helped a lot of people get into home ownership, and we've created financial freedom for ourselves. And that's essentially what Clover Properties does.
Well, that's great. Yes, there's a lot of, I know there's a lot of my clients looking for rent to own, so that's very important. Tell me, why do they call your husband Mr. No?
That's actually what I call him. His initials.
Is it because he knows everything, or he just says no to everything?
He says no to everything. His response to everything is no, especially unfamiliar things. So when I presented the idea of pursuing real estate to him, his response was no. I don't know enough about it. I don't have the money. I don't have the experience. And my response was, we'll figure it out. And he has been consistent in saying no until he has all the details and all the facts. And now, once he knows everything, he's actually Mr. KNOW.
That's right, that's right. So you initiated, and then he came along once everything was fine, and now he knows everything.
Absolutely. Well, the dynamic of the first NO is still there, but after a while, he switches gears.
Okay. Jillian, okay, in your bio, you said you purchased 35 doors in 18 months. Can you explain that?
I can. So student rental strategy is a little bit different. So the doors from which you collect rent. So it's not 35 different houses, but it's 35 different doors in which I collect rent. And so when I started my career, I managed to pull equity out of a really great property here in Toronto, and I realized I wanted to be a really good shepherd of that money and use it wisely to build a portfolio that was going to help me and my family, and especially my disabled son. So I took that money, I'm like, where can we use it so that we can generate great, strong, passive income? And so I looked outside of Toronto and I turned to Hamilton, St. Catharines, to Welland, where some of those prices of houses are much less expensive. And so I was able to take equity from the house here, and together with partners purchase houses, lots of several houses.
So you do student rentals?
I do student rentals. I love that strategy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you say doors, you mean that's how many you rented?
Yes.
Okay, that's excellent. Mm-hmm. Good job. You also call yourself an accidental investor.
Mm-hmm. Well, so one day, a long time ago, I I had a son who was born with a really significant disability, and we were really concerned about his long-term financial ability to produce enough for himself financially. And I knew a long time ago that real estate was going to be a really interesting avenue to pursue. And one day I went out on this run, and I came back and I said to my husband, guess what? We're going to buy a house. And I'll never forget his face. He's like, you went out for a run. What do you mean we're buying a house? But I saw this beautiful property in an area that I knew was up and coming. And I knew what real estate could do for me. So I was an accidental investor in the sense that I bought that property not knowing quite as much as I do now, obviously. But it was this springboard, this huge life and this huge investment, and this professional development for me that I did quite on a whim one day, yet it turned out to be the springboard to those 35 doors only a couple of years later.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Let's talk to Shannon. Shannon. Okay, so you said that being a single mom opened up your eyes to real estate investing. But how did you manage as a single mom to start investing and be where you are now?
Well, I'm not going to lie, it was very, very tough. But, my mother was a single mother as well, and I really wanted to break the cycle. So my situation was, just like anyone else's, but in terms of I faced a lot of adversity, and being the kind of fighter that I am, I wanted to take that adversity and turn it into opportunity and just break the chain and break the cycle. Because as I looked at my young son, as I looked at my young daughter, I realized that I wanted not just a better life for them, but to create a financial future that would be in our best interest. So I turned to real estate just as another option because it was something that I was comfortable with. And like Jillian, you may have thought that maybe it was kind of in a way of an accident. I was only looking at it as, why don't I buy a single home, and why don't I live in the upper unit for my children and I, and then help offset the mortgage and pay or get a tenant or something downstairs. So as I realized that opportunity, it just bloomed into something else.
That's a good idea. That's great. And you also belong to two other women's groups that I know of, Mompreneur and Win. What are those?
Yes, well, because we're women and we always like to have lots of different interests, like we do have our shoes and our hair. However, I love to empower women just like yourself. And I'm the founder of Canadian Women, which is the Canadian Women Investment Network. And I'm from Barrie, so I also have the opportunity of being the licensee and owner of Simcoe County Mompreneurs. So it just allows me to combine all the facets of empowering women in terms of real estate and business. And, I don't need to be any better than anyone else, but just the best version of myself, better than I was yesterday. And if I can help every other woman and wife and mother, whether single or not, that's really, in my mind, in my heart, that's what the world is about.
And it looks like you're already all doing that, so that's great. Let's talk to Monica. Monica is a mother of 4 small kids, because every time I talk to her, she's going crazy and has a limited time on the phone. But her and her husband managed to open an investment company with the buy, rent, and hold strategy. Can you tell us about that?
Well, when we started out with our family, even with just one child, we decided it was important for one of us to stay home with the kids. And that was myself, while my husband worked full-time. And although I was working part-time, we soon realized it really is hard to make ends meet, which forced us to take more control over our finances and our investments. We really realized what Canadians are trained to do in regards to savings and investment vehicles. It really wasn't working for us. So we explored different alternative investments, and real estate was our investment vehicle of choice.
That's good. Yeah, so how are you doing with the buy, hold, and rent strategies? They're working for you?
Absolutely. We created a very successful buy, rent, hold portfolio in which we're able to fund all 4 children's university education.
Fantastic.
As well as our retirement.
Good for you.
And now we help other investors invest in real estate so they can accomplish the same goals or whatever their personal goals are.
None of you are real estate agents. I think only Shannon. So the rest of you, what real estate agents do you use? Do you use real estate agents that are in the area that you work?
No, I use real estate agents in the areas that I invest, and I call them investment area specialists as well as agents. And
Okay.
I think one of the most important team member any investor can have is a real estate agent, because they're an expert in their area.
Yep.
And they know the market better than anyone else. So.
How did you ladies meet and form this group called MORE Mothers on Real Estate? How did you meet? Like, there's a lot of women's groups. You belong to 2 other women's groups already. What made you form this other women's group called MORE?
It all kind of happened on a whim. We all sort of have our own investment groups, and as female investors, we often feel very unrepresented. There are some big female names in the real estate market, but a lot of them are not women, and a lot of them are not mothers. I mean, not all of them are women. A lot of them are not mothers. And we feel mothers kind of face a different set of challenges than non-mothers, or even parents and caregivers. So
I would think almost everybody is a mother, like 80-90% are mothers. Maybe not mothers with young children, but they're mothers, you know?
Well, a lot of the female population is obviously mothers. In the real estate investment field, a lot of the bigger names there, it is kind of a bit of an unrepresented market. So, but as we come together, obviously it's not, because we all have between us, we have 13 kids. So, so for Mother's Day, basically, I took it upon myself to sort of network and reach out to some other investor moms, and we all came together and formed MORE. And we've done a series of talks in different investment groups, and now we're forming a group that focuses more on mentorships as well as education and support to mothers and others.
So you've got a lot of great plans happening here. Let me ask Rachel, what is the mandate of the group? Is it primarily a vehicle to your other businesses that you have?
Well, we're leveraging the knowledge and expertise that we've created through our investment experience. And what we learned individually through building up our businesses and our investment portfolios is that it's very difficult to ramp up. And it's a lot easier to do it when you have the support from like-minded people who've been there, done that. And essentially that's the mandate of MORE. It's to bring together mothers and others and empower them, become their backbone, and share and empower, educate, and guide so that they can ramp up faster and make fewer mistakes, unlike we did.
How many women in your group right now?
We are just kicking it off, so we're fresh. Right now we're the founding members, and it'll grow from there. We're going to be doing a launch in the fall, and there'll be more information available on our website.
And you just kind of said some of the mistakes you made. What are some of those mistakes you made? That was one of my questions. Looking back and knowing what you know and doing what you do you regret anything?
We don't have enough time.
Any mistakes? Let's let
Shannon could probably comment on this one. I have mistakes that she talks about.
I was just going to say we don't have enough time, but one of the things really for women is we have a different language, and you touched that I was a realtor, but the thing is that I wasn't a realtor first. I just want to make that clarification. It's only because it is a specific language as an investor. So I didn't have that in the people that I was using, and I made tons of mistakes because I trusted the wrong people. So I really only became a realtor, an investor realtor specifically. So one of the things is, as I looked at single family homes, did you know that you have to filter applicants? Did you know they have to do credit checks? Did you have to do references? Because you're handing over a $250,000 property. I didn't do any of that. Somebody handed cash to me. I was like, great, it's vacant, rented, I'll take it, right? Well, that's a mistake, because then, that was the first and last, and that was the only rent that I had for 6 months until I tried to get them out. And as a single mother, here I was struggling. So, trying to pay my mortgage and then somebody else's mortgage. So don't do that. Then as I started looking at multifamily, do you know that it's about income and expenses? It's not because, vacant houses for easier showings. It's just a different strategy and a different language. So all of us have many different stories, and we just come together collaboratively, and just amazing.
Yeah, you do have a lot of different stories. Jillian, What are the main issues that are affecting women today?
In what respect? In terms of
I
could go so many different directions.
like everything. No, business. In terms of business.
Look, I'm about to open another business myself next week. I think women in general are often hard on themselves. There's so much to be done. I feel like for me, I can't comment on womanhood in general. I can tell you how I look at myself, which is that I hold myself to a really high standard. I want things to be perfect. And I don't think that's necessarily a great thing. I really think at the end of the day, you got to get going on something. You got to get started. Aiming for perfection is never ever the right move. And in fact, there's no such thing as perfection really. But if you pull the trigger and get started, you can always recalibrate later. You can fix stuff. There's mostly never a mistake that is too big to recover from. So I would say one of the biggest challenges for women in general is to not do things until things are perfect, and that's the mistake.
That's the mistake. That's a biggie. That's a good one. Okay, what steps would you suggest to audience members who are thinking about creating wealth strategy? Give me a couple of steps. I'm getting the wrap really fast.
I would say one of the quickest one is to, for me personally, I think for a lot of the women in this group, is to align with a coach, with someone whose values match up with your own, someone who's a little bit further down the track, so you can link arms and say, hey, help me discover this path, help me take the right steps. So get a coach, get a real estate coach, get a business coach, so link up with someone who's aligned with
Business coach.
Business coach.
Very good.
Or real estate
Life coach.
Life coach.
I would say build a team and, walk the walk and talk the talk. So look for people that are actually taking action and build the right team and establish a list of questions that you want to ask the individuals, and don't just rush into it and just spend your money.
Together we're stronger, right?
My recommendation would be to get in touch with your why. Why do you want to do this? Why is real estate a vehicle for you to generate wealth? There's going to be a lot of obstacles along the road, and your why is going to keep you focused.
Yes. Monica?
My recommendation would be, why reinvent the wheel? Why not do your first investment or second investment in property? Shadowing someone else. Someone who's already done that, been there. Seek any sort of mentor that can help and minimize your risk and maximize your returns.
Beautiful. Well, thank you. You girls are all great, and I thank you for being here. I think we've got a giveaway. Rachel has a book there.
So Mr. No and I co-authored a book. It is a bestseller on Amazon. And essentially, we distilled all of our knowledge and expertise on how to succeed with rent-to-own for home buyers. But a lot of investors who are interested in leveraging the rent-to-own strategy can benefit from this book as well.
Would you like to pick a name?
The winner is Tina Journey.
Ooh!
Tina Journey.
Yay! I also have a book here that I published. It's called The Literacy Connection. It's an anthology, and I was published in it, and I have it as a giveaway. And I'm going to draw, see who gets it. What does that say? Tiziana Pompilla! There we go. Do you want to come up? And we also have a bottle of Woodbridge Mondavi wine to give away. Let's see the lucky person.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Oh, that's for us. Sorry, guys. No. Okay, no. We said we were going to give it away. Do you want to pick one?
Nadia Sarah.
Nadia Sarah. Is she still here? She was here before. Is she in the bar? Is she in the bar? Okay, all right, so we'll find her, and if she's not here, we'll give it away again. Thank you very much for being here, Jillian, Shannon, Rachel, and Monica. You're a wonderful group. Thank you so much.